everyone, and welcome to another episode of Money Conversations with FBN Quest Asset Management. Today, we'll be talking about volatility. Remember, the essence of this conversation is to demystify financial jargons and to empower you, our viewers. I'll be introducing my special guests today. Let's start from my extreme left. I think that'll be best. On my extreme left, I have Claire.
Hi. Hi,
And then next to Claire, the only gentleman in the building.
Yeah.
I have Bola.
Yeah.
And finally, I have Anne.
Hello.
Well, this is a very this topic is very wide, I must say. And I'll start with do you have any idea of the 2008 market crash? If you can, take your mind back to it. Did it affect anybody here or any of your family members or, any of your loved ones? How did you deal with it? Let's start with Anne, because I'm sure she has, still has, memories.
Yes.
I'm still recovering from that one.
Wow.
I did the most foolish thing. I basically just went with the flow because just before the burst, everybody was buying shares. Everybody, you literate, illiterate, savvy, not savvy. And at that time, my dad had just given, because he was sort of equating his property ahead of time,
Yes.
had given my sister and I a flat in Surulere.
Wow.
And so we said, there are two of us, instead of us to hustle for the flat, why don't we sell it and put the monies in equity?
Yes, because that was like one of the most popular
Yes.
asset class
Class
back
at the
then.
time,
If
yeah.
you ask any of our parents, what they were putting was shares.
Yes.
So we sold our house and
Wow.
put the money in shares. And just how many months after, our money
Whoa.
just went down.
must have
Honestly,
been very
I
painful.
had blocked it out of my mind until you brought it up.
Apologies, Anne. Apologies. But with this experience of yours, we have to empower our viewers today. And that's why we're here today.
You have to be knowledgeable. You have
Yes.
to seek advice.
Yes.
Don't just hear people talk about something and then carry your inheritance and put in there.
Yes, because we've had people just say, "Oh, I had my friend, invest in this," and without knowledge or information, you're just going with the flow.
Herd
Just,
mentality.
Yeah.
just yes. So Claire, do you have any experience you want to share with us?
Well, my experience is actually from my dad. I based on the conversation we had with him about it, he had various friends that were stockbrokers then, and sometimes they'll come meet him to say, oh, this share is actually in the market. Are you interested? We're like, okay, I have the money. Let me just invest. let me just invest. And then he would say, oh, what he just tried to do is just invest and just close his eyes and see how it goes without really understanding how the market is. So back to what Anne
Yes.
mentioned, without really understanding how the market works. It just, okay, I have the money. Let me just put it in. Let me just invest. Let me see how it works. So understanding how the market works and understanding the various asset classes you're putting your money in is very important. Very important.
Over to you, Bola. Do you have any? Is it the same experience that you had, or you have something?
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
different?
quite similar. I mean, just like the ladies have mentioned, right? Volatility. So the point to note is volatility is actually part of investing, but I think the important thing that investors need to know is that the role of an investment advisor to sort of guide you in ensuring that you have a good understanding about the investment scheme or whether it's an outlet you're investing in, so that you can now decide whether you can tolerate the level of volatility in whatever you have invested in. But for myself, I was not exposed to the crisis back then in 2008
Wow.
because I was still trying to put savings together. So I think, That's pretty much it.
Imagine.
Okay, so I'll stay on you being being the portfolio manager here.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
so what really is volatility? In the context of investment, what is volatility?
Yeah, so I think, the way to think about volatility is to just look at the current situation in the country today. You go to the market today, you want to buy a bowl of gari, 1,500. The next day, you go to the market, it's 1,800. And prices move like sharply upwards. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, prices are always heading in one direction.
And it's just the way
And
up.
it's always like within
All the way
a
up.
very short period of time, right? In fact, at some point when dollar was not stable, if you go to the market today, by the time you return to the market in the morning, the seller will tell you, oh, the price has changed.
Yes.
And you're wondering, like, what has happened between the morning when I came to the market and
Yes.
in the afternoon, right? So that's pretty much what volatility means. It means when you invest in something and the value of your investment is not stable, so subject to high level of fluctuations within a very short period of time, just like your usual daily experience when you go and buy stuffs at the market. So that's pretty much
Okay.
what volatility implies.
Okay. So I'll go to Claire now. Is this a good or a bad thing? Volatility and its on its own. Is it good or bad? And how should we look at it in when we're thinking about investments or making our monies work for us? How should we think about volatility?
Okay, so I think just to add to what Nobola said when he talked about volatility, sometimes this volatility we see in the markets, sometimes it's always, short-lived. Then we get like a kind of a pricing within the market where everybody takes whatever good they want to buy or not buy. And that also applies within, the investment world too. So, like we mentioned, understanding the market before you come into the market, you need to know the kind of person you are. Are you one that have the ability to actually take risk? And if you are, then you are looking at, you can look at both sides of the market, be it risky and capital preservation kind of investment. So looking at the market as at now, we're currently, if you look at the market, we're currently in a period where for the equity side there's a bit of volatility going on there, with pricing, with the market not doing as positive as it was at the start of the year. For the fixed income market, we're seeing good yields there. So I think right now, for those that understand how the market works, the fixed income market kind of offers them stronger returns, better earnings, and also a preservation for their capital in this volatile situation.
Oh wow. Okay.
Can I share an
Yes,
example
please.
of
Oh,
what
yeah.
she spoke about? So when she spoke about, Claire spoke about the fact that, if you understand the market, this worked for me when COVID just came in. And so when prior to COVID, there was a particular stock I'd been trying to buy, but it was over 1,000 naira per unit. And I'm Ijebu, I don't do those kind of expensive things.
You are one of the people that buy the
I said,
Lily price stock so that you can get more units.
I said I wasn't going to buy it, right? And then when COVID came, everybody was stuck at home. People were looking for tissue paper for some reason. I was looking for my shares. And so I saw that the price had gone well below 1,000 naira. And so I bought it real quick. And within a couple of months, the price had gone back up and even it had doubled compared to the price that I put in. So volatility can be an opportunity, but I reiterate, you have to understand the market or speak to an advisor who can help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, just to pick it
Fantastic.
up from,
Yeah.
where hand stopped, right? In terms of, volatility across different investment outlets, you have some assets or investment that are not as volatile as others, right? So depending on the individual's tolerance for volatility now. So we have some investors, apparently you would expect that the old ones would not want to deal with that level of volatility. You invest today and your investment advisor is telling you the value of investment has dropped. The following day you hear another news that it has increased. So for those elderly ones, the money market fund, which is broadly stable, the value of your investment is not subject to that high level of fluctuation, that will be best suited for the elderly ones. Then if you look at, youth, it's expected that myself and Claire,
Yes.
we are still in our
And
youthful
me too,
age, right?
Bola.
Ayo, you're trying to leave me
Barista.
alone.
You don't want to leave sweet 16.
At all.
Okay, but for you as well, right? It's advisable that you still sort of take a little bit of risk.
Yeah.
So having some minimal exposure to high risk investment, which comes with volatility, but it is expected that you are able to absorb the shock, right? Compared to an elderly person, which, for health reasons, they might be unable to sort of, manage that sort of volatility for
Yeah.
health concerns, right? So the point is, at FBN Quest, we have different investment products that would also match the tolerance level for investors, depending on, how much volatility you are able to absorb if you invest in our various investment products. But for the money market fund, if you are risk averse, you want to sleep at night with peace of mind that yes,
Yes.
the 100,000 you invested today will remain the same tomorrow, and
Yes.
even up until the rest of the year, whenever
Yeah.
you need your funds. Definitely, the money market fund is the go-to outlet for you.
Fantastic. And do you have any other thing to, to say to what Bolan just mentioned
Yes.
with respect to, the offerings at FBN Quest Asset Management?
Absolutely. Okay, so and I'll link it to volatility.
Yeah.
Right. Right now, as Bolahan rightfully said, we're going through a period of volatility, right? And the first thing you should do when the environment is volatile is to calm down and to choose the right portfolio that works for you. And in doing that, you need to consider things like you spoke about, your investment horizon. Younger people tend to have a longer one. Your risk rate, your risk tolerance, which is very
Yes.
important, and then your goal. What are you investing for, right? And the good thing about our products, our solutions in FBN Quest, because truly that's what they are, is that they take you right across all of this, right?
Okay.
So if you're looking for long-term investments, you can afford to play a bit in our equity space. We have both a balanced fund with a good mix of equity and money market instruments.
Okay.
And then if you want to go all out, we have a full-on equity fund. If you want to play in the short term, you can use the money market fund we spoke about. And for the medium term, we have a wide array of bond funds. We have the halal for people who are particular about ethical or green investing.
Okay.
We have the dollar funds.
Yeah.
So if you want to diversify across currencies, you can do that as well. So in FBN Quest, we have solutions for whatever it is you want to diversify towards during volatile times, so that you still can ride this period knowing that you're working towards your objectives.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any final words from you, Claire?
I think another thing that, in terms of volatility that we need to also consider is before you come into the market, you have a plan. You should plan on what, you want to achieve, your objective for investment, and also have like a long-term perspective of the market.
Okay.
Because if you're looking at it from the short term, you might get, affected by the herding, effects where a lot of people are moving towards one direction and you just want to just follow them because, you don't have the right information, you don't have the right advisors in the market. So, yes.
Okay, thank you. I think I have learned a lot today. One thing you should know is you should understand your risk profile, understand how much risk that you're willing to take.
Yes.
Rebalance your portfolio at every point. Understand the investments that you're going into. Very, very important. And you can always speak. The most important is to speak to a financial advisor. And at FBN Quest Asset Management, we have all the solutions that would help you make the right investment decision. So thank you very much. We hope we've been able to educate you and provide this quality information. Please follow us on all our social media handles on Facebook, X, and Instagram. From all of us, it's
Bye.
Bye for now.